little stiff. Must be a storm.
I didn't expect to be nervous. But seeing everyone here like this... It's strange, isn't it? I feel like I must have dreamed the last few months. Now I'm waking up back in camp with my hair smelling like wood smoke and fallen leaves stuck to my backside. Oh, I've noticed. Ever since I first slipped into my camp garments, I should think. So, we should divvy up what we tell people about what we've been doing these past few months. I'd hate to be a bore that comes along and regurgitates the same story to someone moments after you've told them. Any ideas? Well, there's the visit to the House of the Moon, fending off Sharan assassins. That stray imp that joined us. Bing Bong, wasn't it? We've squeezed in a lot. And I'm glad I got to share it all with you. I'm sure we'll have them hanging off our every word. I'll leave you to do some mingling, unless you need anything else. That can be arranged. Almost a shame we're with company. I'd be tempted to let you whisk me away someplace quiet. Why? Are you expecting... I could get lost in those arms. With music, don't get into trouble, but if you must...
Right. You. Hello. Yes, I'm certain it is. As for you, well, I've heard congratulations are in order. You helped Mr. Dicarios save Baldur's Gate from the Absolute, isn't that right? Well done. Despite my old friend's genius, he'd have blown himself up long ago if not for the help of friends like you and I. You ought to come visit myself and Gale when you're able, if you can extract yourself from what I'm sure are very important responsibilities. More's the pity. Ta-ta, darling.
Well, well. Look what the Tressim dragged in. Professor Gale Dicarios of Blackstaff Academy. Educator of the esteemed School of Illusion. A pleasure to remake your acquaintance. Well, that was quite lovely, I have to say. I'm quite grateful to just... I fear my students find me somewhat intimidating due to my, explosive former reputation. I seem to put the fear of the gods into them. Or the fear of Mystra, to be more specific. I surrendered the crown of Carsus to her, as I told you I would. And in return, she cured me of the orb at last. Even now, I struggle to put the feelings into words. It was like exhaling for the first time after holding my breath for so very long. Of course, I haven't clarified. I spend most of my time trying to convince them how much fun the study of magic can be. But it'd be easier to crack a smile on an intellect devourer than some of my pupils. Still, I hoped my students might be a little more open to the playful side of such magic. Oh, they try their best, of course, when they can manage to stay.
Cheek of them! Nothing a well-placed swipe from Tara can't fix, though.
And what of you? What are you making of this newfound lease of life we earned? And I couldn't be happier for you. A fitting reward for the sacrifices you made in getting here. I've told my students plenty of tales about our escapades. You're something of a hero to them, you know? I'll be delighted to introduce you to my current cohort as a guest lecturer, perhaps. I'm sure they'd have plenty of questions for you. I don't see why not. Two heads are better than one. Of course, you'll be most welcome to stay with me in my... Maya, it will give us plenty of time to catch up on your adventures. So, in the spirit of selflessness, I encourage you to mix and mingle.
Pretty red, but no, not even close. So, well, I wasn't sure our withered old friend could live up to his promise. But here we are. And you're looking more delicious than ever, if you don't mind me saying. Whatever you've been doing with your time, it clearly worked wonders. Love is a powerful tonic. And where better to celebrate our good fortune? An old haunt with old friends. I've taken a turn as an adventurer and hero. It turns out no one actually cares about murder as long as you murder the right people. And apparently I'm rather good at it. Yes, but you say all sorts of things. Honestly, I don't even listen half the time. It has made for a nice change, though. Inspiring hope in people instead of terror. Well, I do try to inspire a little terror. I'm still me, after all. I did at first, but then I realized these shadows, this darkness, it's all a part of me. I spent too long defined by what other people did to me, the choices other people made for me. But that's over now. This is who I am, in all my glory, for better and for worse. That being said, I haven't completely given up on returning to the sun. If the opportunity presented itself, well, I wouldn't say no. But until then, I am happy. We've had quite the journey, you and I. From the moment I first threatened you, I knew you were someone special. Someone to take on the world with. I will miss our time together. But then again, maybe this isn't goodbye. So much as it's, see you later, darling.
My taste in music is too antique, of course. you made it! Now the revelry can truly begin.
There's something strange in your old friend's mouth. What is it? A familiar invitation. He wants you to throw the object he's dropped. But it isn't a ball. It's the astral prism. Scratch barks merrily, and something like he whines. Less talk, more throw.
Fish heads and a stale loaf of bread just to get by.
A familiar sight. Scratch can't quite...
Quite as nice as the sitting room, but
Didn't realize you were such a homebody, Tara.
He looks coyly at the ground, suddenly shy. He snaps the air and wiggles. He's either miming fighting a many-limbed creature or dancing. He is, however, exhausted. He's had plenty of adventures without you. The joy in the owlbear's eyes is clear. He longs for a home and would love to stay with Shadowheart.
Enjoying yourself, I hope. Oh, hush. We'll have each other all to ourselves. Let's make tonight count. The only regrets I want to hear about come morning should... Oh, did you now? Come on then, out with it. You didn't. Of course he can come with... Are you sure he'd want to join? I'm not exactly settled anywhere right now. It could be dangerous at times. All right then. It's settled. Oh, the things we'll get up to. Why, I feel better.
Now, there's a face I know well indeed. Gods, I must look a mess. Oh, I didn't mean... Well, I didn't mean that. I just gutted the ogre, not... How about I change the subject before I dig this hole any deeper? It's so good to see you. And I've got so much... The trolls I've torn open. I don't suppose you'd indulge me. You'll have to choose one tale and one tale only, I'm afraid, or I'll be yammering all night. You want to hear about the Stegosaurus that bullied Candle Keep, the impossible lich, or the young dragon who crawled out of Deeping Cave? It did, though the adventure had peaceful beginnings, as so many often do. I'd made camp south of Daggerford. The night was calm, lit by the green, a deluge. It was as if I turned my skin to bark and made for the light. I cast and carved until I reached the... But what does a world of netherbrains and magic crowns care about the... I raged through the night. By morning, the fields were buried in shards of bone, the liches included. I won't lie. Losing the eldritch blasts and the hexes took some getting used to. Nothing but void, where once there was... So, I stoke. Now, the Blade of Frontiers is a ranger. I've missed you too. The rush of battles we fought, the heart-to-hearts. If I had to do it all over again, and I'd rather not, to be clear. I can't imagine not having you at my side. Go on. Or waste a single drop of wine for that matter. I plan on...
Well now, you can make yourself presentable when you have a mind to. I'm glad the months have not been wasted. Particularly as I spent them cleaning up the mess we made of the city. Same twisting alleys for purse pickers. Same wooden buildings ready to get burnt by next year's dragon. Same cisterns overflowing, huh? Baldurians simply get on with it. Harpers have come from half the world over. My own son, Jord, has been wooed to their ranks. Already he plans crop cycles in Worm's Crossing. Not so for my daughter. Ryan's rejoined the Flaming Fist. Temporarily, you understand. To organize the craftsmen. Though she spends more time locking up comrades for pocketing aid funds. They might learn a thing or two, if they don't expel her. Again. There is still much to do. I may have little love for this city, but so long as for all your travels, I hope you have arrived where you want to be. Home. Ah, sentiment. With the greatest affection, I can think of better ways to sour our stomachs. I must inspect the refreshments. You'll never know. Some ne'er-do-well might have tampered with the wine.
I must be careful to not overindulge tonight, lest I lose control and slip into bear form. You would think someone of my vintage would be inured to the passage of time. Yet these past 6 months have seemed endless without your company. But now, it is one that can weather any distance, any passage of time. I know it can, for I feel the longing for old friends in my heart each day. I always do. That was more than worth the wait. Apologies. You can probably understand my eagerness. I shall... Now, we have much to catch up on. Do not allow me to ramble on. I am eager to hear all you've been doing. Please, spare no... They have all but exhausted my repertoire in but a few short months. No mean feat given the lifetime I have lived. I desperately need new material, please. My reputation is at stake. I am all ears, though I never cared for that phrase. A rather unsettling image. You have kept yourself. I shall be able to keep... Now, it would be cruel of me to hoard you all to myself for the evening, as much as I would like to. Our community grows. The old masonry of Moonrise Towers and Rythwin have been repurposed into new homes, and the land is rich with harvests and bountiful trees. Nature and civilization are in harmony. stronger together. Ah, my... I impart what knowledge I can to them, yet, in truth, you are welcome whenever you like, and for however long you please. Quite often, they come and go as they please, but with so many playmates to avail of, they are far from strangers. They ask after you often. What you did for them will never be forgotten. I can see it in the land all around me. But more importantly, I see it in their faces whenever they visit. To make a child smile is to dabble with the power of gods as far as I'm concerned. I spend half my days in ursine form. The children demand it. I had a score of them taking turns riding upon... I'm glad they are so comfortable with the Oakfather's creations. But they must learn that... As for roaming, that impulse has dwindled. I must, by all means... Your embrace makes me feel safer than any... As... On occasion, even Korga may yet find true... Yet, they always find their way back to where they belong. Just like old friends find themselves back in each other's... Just a token to remember me by. Now, I've taken up enough of your time. Go on. Enjoy the festivities. We can speak again later.
A beautiful night. I wish it could last forever.
Some in your cheeks. Better than Zentish prison fare, is it not? Aha! You see, Boo? Boo! We are not dreaming! It is our old friend! What is reuniting with old comrades, if not the stuff of dreams? But you will forgive the aroma, I hope. We were not Boo had a moment to lick himself clean, but there is a little too much of Minsk to cover. Minsk and Boo have been helping, of course. We guard the streets, while Jahira is occupied with harperish matters. The Zentarum rule the city's underbelly. So Minsk and Boo went to give them a tick. We awoke in a Zentish cell, awaiting trial by noble combat. It is a long walk to the gallows, and Minsk still has his fists, no? She told Minsk and Boo to behave themselves, which is why we shall be back in our cell by dawn. But leave such matters for the morn. Tonight is for celebration. How have you filled your days since we tore this sticky tyrant from the sky? Aha, the lovebirds still nest together then? Minsk is glad. For what is life without a... Though I am thinking yours does not sit on your shoulders, eh? Ah, you are right, Boo. There is much merriment. Ah, this...
I must be careful to not overindulge tonight, lest I lose control and slip into bear form. Oh, hello. Let me guess, you've got some suggestions about the music choice. Go on then. What should I play? Fine.
Checking in on me? Sweet of you.
Ah, my dear friend. Our skeletal friend will be very pleased to see I found my way here, despite my invitation getting lost in the post. Always, my friend. But the villain I must needs slay today. You won't be I've gotten quite good at replicating your You might help me with the title, though. I'm considering The Hero and Me. I knew you would. Ah, but you mustn't let me hog your attention.
Realize you were such a homebody, Carl.
New days, old friends. There's no greater joy.
Thou feelst it still. Hast thy thoughts been with brave Karlak often? She would not come. Correct. Not in plains material. In but a dozen 10 days, an entire life was lived. More than thy band, thy bond, gave that life to her. Not like thou wert her kin. It was written in her heart. Surely thou knowest. In the fugue plain, her soul burns so bright, it pain. Recall that in time all changeth and all is rejoined. Thou shalt be with her again. What indeed? Prick up. The balance of the world restored. The balance of these lives, mortal and otherwise, brought to account. Hear me, thou heroes, wastrels, friends. I have waited long to tell you these words. It is over. For now. Thou played thy part in weaving the fabric of fate itself, but for every thread you sewed, so did the gods unravel another. Sleep, rest, revel, but be ready, for thou mayst yet be needed. Until we meet again, I wish thee every possible fortune, health, wealth, love, and above all, problems worth solving. To you. There thou art. The dead didst truly believe thy ploy would succeed. Thou soughtst to bolster thy strength by taking away the souls of mortals. But souls vanish when their hosts become mind flayers. Didst think the other gods would not notice? Gods thou may be, yet thou hast proven thyself fools, everyone. The supplication of Bane, the whimper of Baal, the death mule of Merkel. Felled by mortals, I overestimated thee. They did not. Vermin, away. Thou wilt trouble us no more.